My name is KelSounds, and today I just want to show you my latest track that I released, and just kind of show you my process here of what I did. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing that I started out with was this preset here in Phase Plant. First I made the wavetable. It's called PPWT Test Run 1. I think I was originally going to make some wavetables, and I liked the way that it sounded and just made a whole preset out of it. And the only thing that I added here, this is from the Snap Heap preset that I released recently. I just put 2 of them on here, and I think I did some automation too on the main mix. The sound is pretty much just the wavetable and some post-processing. It sounds like this. The main part for this track is just that sound. And yeah, I just adjusted some of the parameters for each preset. And then for the second part of the drop, it's the same preset. With just a little bit of tweaking. I think I just adjusted the wavetable here. Looks like the frame's at 166. I added some more post-processing here. I did some more automation to the gain as well, or to the mix of the Snap Heap preset. And I got that sound. And so this is the second drop. And also for this break part, I added this arcade riser thing that I have. This was another preset I think I released. Can't remember if it was inside of a free sample pack or if it was inside of a blog post that I posted. Yeah, it looks like I put an auto filter on here and automated the frequency. This is what the preset sounds like. So yeah, just slap that in there. Looks like I added a reverse effect in here. That is from VST Speaks, but I decided to freeze it and consolidate it into a audio file. But originally there was some delay, some OTT, I did some EQing, and I think I might have added a comb filter. Actually no, I just did EQing to kind of boost some frequencies. Then I also added a hat. These hats that I use are from one of my sample packs. I think it's in my random samples folder. They're just some synthesized hats from inside of Phase Plant. So yeah, together it sounds like this. For the drums, didn't really do anything too crazy. For the kick, I also used a Faceplant preset. Let me just drag it in here really quickly. It's just called Faceplant Kick Drum. I did some tweaking, and I got this kick from it. The snare is also a preset that I made inside of Faceplant. So let me go ahead and pull that up. And I pretty much did the same thing that I did with the kick. I just opened the preset and did some tweaking with the knobs. Oh, that's too high. And then I think I did a little bit of post-processing, and then eventually I think I froze the track and consolidated it to keep things simple. So yeah, the snare is just synthesized inside of Faceplant. For hat 1, I pretty much just went to my random samples folder and drag and dropped a synthesized hi-hat that I made from Faceplant. And I added a shifter, and I turned up the fine tune all the way up. And altogether the drums just sound like this. And another thing that I would like to mention is for the kick, I made sure it was in G, because the main basses that I used, they were in either F or E. I wanted to make some space for the bass and the kick, so it fits better together. And then for this part of the drop, I did change the snare a little bit. I pretty much just added a bunch of claps together, did some post-processing, and I got this clap from it. And I just layered it with the first snare. I wanted to do a kick and a rhythm clap, but it really didn't like fit too well inside of the track. And so as I was making the clap to go along with the kick, I was just hearing it back and I really wasn't satisfied with it, so I just figured it'd be better to just layer the rhythm clap with the snare that I have here. And I also added a volume fade here for the rhythm clap, so that way when the snare and the clap play together, the transient would shine through more. So it kind of ducks out of the way of the transient. And then for sidechaining, I always use a utility when I'm sidechaining inside of Ableton. I don't use like a sidechaining plugin. I used to, but I just feel like I have more control of sidechain when I'm doing it with a utility. So I can like see my kick audio file and see how much is being ducked with the utility when I'm automating for a sidechain. I have sidechaining going on for the kick, and I have sidechaining going on for the snare. I also added a compressor to bring the overall volume of the main basses closer together. And looks like I also have a glue compressor on here just for the soft clip. And after I have the sidechain. And for the end of the drop here, I added the Pac-Man preset that I showed you guys earlier. Just added a riser with the pitch wheel, and I did some automation to the frequency. And then for the break, I just added a fake Reese. I added in a bass from Faceplant. Nothing too crazy. And then I added some FX, which is just a noise, or just white noise. This fake Reese is kind of interesting. This was a preset that I made, and I think I was using the note utility to automate how fast the volume was going. But yeah, I just thought it sounded cool with the break. And then another thing that I added was this ARP. I really like the way this sounded. When I was making this, I didn't want to like complicate it too much, so I was like, I'm just gonna add a regular analog generator and put a filter on it. And so yeah, it's just this simple analog generator with the LFO automation on the filter, and I added a arpeggiator with some reverb, kind of a Tron vibe, I guess you could say. And then together with the bass, it sounds like this. Same thing with the bass. I didn't want to really like overcomplicate things, so I just added a simple analog generator, did some unison, detune, and some spread. I put a filter on it as well, and I automated the cutoff. By the way, if you guys don't know this yet, to automate like anything inside of Faceplant, like any parameter, like the amount, like if I wanted to automate pinch and not have to, you know, assign it to a macro knob, what you would want to do is right click on the parameter that you want to automate. Then you have this assign to automation slot. And so all these slots you can use to automate inside of your DAW. So if I want to automate the amount, just right click, assign to automation slot, slot 2. And now I can automate this parameter inside of my DAW. So I just hit configure, then I hit amount, and then it pops up down here. Actually took me a really long time to figure that out. So I was like, once I found out you could do that, I was like, what? I didn't know you could automate individual parameters from effects inside of Faceplant into your DAW. Yeah, it was just one of those things, I guess. Okay, and then for the riser, I just got a bunch of things going on here. Looks like I have the ARP going up in pitch. Got a little bit of post-processing. Added a shifter, an auto filter, and did some automation. I also added this bass riser, but without any bass at first. So it's just slowly bringing in those lower frequencies. Then I added this hi-hat. For the claps, it looks like I just added an auto filter, a delay, and a shifter. Did some automation to the frequency and the fine tune. duplicated the fake Reese to introduce the riser. These samples are from a sample pack that I released for my Sound Squad subscribers. I actually used the Screaming Peak Filter preset when I was making these from Snap Heap. So yeah, that's all that is for the riser. It's just a clap, the ARP, the bass noise, the reverb hat. I added a detune riser, and for this, I didn't really do too much. It's just a phase plant with unison, 8 voices. I automated the gain, the detune, and the pitch wheel. I also added a noise effects to kind of bring up the tension. And then I added a little bit of the drop riser in an audio clip, and I just added some effects, such as cutting out the lows. This shifter doesn't even need to be here, really. Looks like I automated the fine tune of a shifter, and did some automation to the frequency, just to introduce the main drop. And the voice that says hello, that's also VST speaks. And so I just froze the track and consolidated it into a audio file. And so yeah, that's pretty much what I did for the whole track. I didn't want to overcomplicate the song too much, just because I know, knowing myself, I will focus on a track for like sometimes like a couple of weeks or more. And I didn't want to do that, so it's a little bit repetitive. As you can see, I just copied and pasted the drop and the risers, just because I didn't want to take too long on the song. I just wanted to get it out there, because I have other ideas for content that I want to pump out. And so like for the end of the song, I just copied the break part and added it to the end. And I left it as is, and I was like, yep, I don't think I want to add any more. I don't want to, do too much change. Because I can definitely spend quite a lot of time on a track. As much as I would like to, it's just there's other things that I want to release as well. So that's why it sounds a little bit repetitive. Oh yeah, I also wanted to show you guys what I did for the mastering. Got my little Restream plugin here for OBS. Yeah, for the master, I didn't really add a lot. I was satisfied with the way that the track was sounding, so I did try EQing, I tried like compressing it, I tried adding effects to it, and I realized, you know what, I really don't like the way it sounds, and so I just added a utility, put the bass in mono, which is like at 115 hertz down here, and then I added a compression for the drop, but I automated the on and off, so that way it only plays during the drop. And then I added a glue compressor for just for the soft clip, and I left it as is. I didn't want to add too much, just because I wasn't liking the way it was sounding. To me, if it sounds good, then it sounds good. Like I didn't want to add anything else if it wasn't necessary. And a lot of the sounds that I had, such as the main basses, they were already mixed pretty well in my opinion. There's definitely like some distortion in the basses, but that's kind of the effect that I was going for, and I really liked the way that it sounded. And since the sub was kind of distorting a little bit, adding EQ kind of just took away energy from the track. So for the mastering, I didn't add a lot. I was satisfied with the way it sounded. Also, mainly because the track is already pretty loud, so there was really no point in boosting it. Usually I'll like put a gain on it and boost it by a few decibels, or I'll put like a limiter on it, like a Pro L2, and add some gain. And so yeah, this is the mastering chain. Exclude the the restream here. That's not part of it. Alright, and that is my track, Gwompus Phase. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll leave a link in the description for the track if you want to give it a listen. I also want to say that this project file is going to be released to my Sound Squad subscribers, so anyone who's subscribed to that can go ahead and download the project file. You'll have access to the wubs that I use, you'll have access to the drums that I use, all the samples and whatnot. and you'll have access to the snap heap preset that I use inside of the main bases. So pretty much just everything inside the project file you'll have access to. I am going to release the drop as one stem, and so that's going to be released for free. I just recorded the main bases for the drop as a long audio file, so for anyone who wants to download that, they can. I'll also leave a link for the free download and for the Sound Squad subscribers download. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Adios.